Hi, this is Coach Jay, and this is Junior Coach Andrew the Golden Boy Bergling. And today we're going to deal with some questions on Reddit in a series that we call Questions Asked. Okay. All right. In this episode of Questions Asked, Saint FPS1 asks us to be a little bit more specific about our criticisms of weaving defense, and to be a little bit more specific about my ideas on the defensive hierarchy of feet, head, and hands. We'll get into that in a minute. So the first thing that he was asking about was weaving, when you're going underneath somebody's punches. So just a regular weave. When he goes underneath. When you do it just once, that's fine when you're reacting, but very often shorter fighters, as they're coming in, they're going to keep weaving in order to keep their head moving, so they're a moving target. Makes it difficult for long fighters like Andrew to get a hold of them, so they can get inside and do their work. When you do this, one of the mistakes that a lot of people make is they go down, changing their head level, and you're going to miss them the first time. Absolutely true. So go down and stay.
Okay.
Boom. You definitely miss them the first time. You may miss them the second time. So no going up, you're just going to stay on the same level.
Okay.
So even down a little lower, up, more at the waist.
Oh.
This isn't your style, I know this.
Yeah.
So when he goes down, you're going to miss him, and you're going to miss him, but if you see, his head's not changing levels anymore. It's just going from side to side. That's something that a slick opponent's going to pick up. So I'll miss him the first couple of times. Whop, whop. Now the next time, if I'm savvy, I'm going to recognize he goes down and he stays there. And that's where he is. So next time it's going to be one of these. Up again. Up. Boom. Because I know where he's going. And he's not going to change. What you should be doing when you go down, so do it the proper way this time, is he'll go down, change levels, and then on the other side he'll come back up 3/4. It's not going to come all the way back up. That's inefficient. But he will pop his head up like a little whack-a-mole. So boom. There he is. Try and hit him again. Boom, there he is. There he is again. The fact that he's changing levels every time, here he is, you shoot for that. Here he is, you shoot for that. If you go down and you just stay here, you may be successful for a short amount of time until somebody figures you out. So I hope that that makes this particular point more clear. The second thing that we were talking about was coaches' preferences. So this is certainly subjective. So please take this with a grain of salt. This is my value system as far as defense is concerned. But the hierarchy of defense as far as I'm concerned is foot, head, hands. You defend yourself first with your feet. By that, I mean you don't be there. I tell my students all the time, when I was in the military, I was reconnaissance for many, many years. And you get this question all the time. How do you keep yourself from being found? My answer was always, don't be there. If you're not there, they can't find you. What I meant by that in a military context is you always put yourself through the worst ground, the places where nobody's going to go. You can make as much noise as you want if you're where nobody is. The same thing is true in boxing. If he comes in and does his work, he comes in just a jab. Boom, hits me, and then uses his feet to get out. He's not there anymore. He doesn't have to do any defense, because he's removed himself from combat distance. So I can't hit him unless I go in. When I enter his space, you better go in savvy or you're going to connect with one of these. So I think because it's the easiest and it's the most effective, you just don't be there. Use your feet. The second thing that you do for defense, in my opinion, feet first, head next. Here, under. The reason for that, as opposed to just hands.
Okay.
Catch, parry, wedge block. Sure. Do it again. Boom, boom, boom. Equally three defend you. The reason why I say head movement over hand defense is twofold. Number one, anybody who's been in the ring knows that one of the most tiring things in the ring is missing. So if I miss completely, weave, woof. You miss. That's tiring. The fact that I got to bring that hand back. The fact that all my energy has gone towards him and he's taken none of it. That's tiring. The second thing is it doesn't look the same from all angles. Head movement, if you're looking from this angle, if you're the judge on that side, head movement,
Yeah.
boom, boom, under. You can tell he didn't get hit any of those 3 times. Back to mom. If you're the judge in the back, behind Andrew, slip, slip, under. You know even from the back that he's not been hit. On the side again. If he blocks with his hands, boom, boom, boom. From that angle, you can tell that I didn't hit him with the jab, I didn't hit him with a cross. You are only allowed to judge what you can see. You have no idea if that hit. If you're from this side, you know that all 3 missed. From that side, you don't know. So what's the difference between, block, boom. Do you see how his head moves? Now don't block. Boom, sorry. His head still moves. So to you, it looks like he's been hit. Same thing as we come this way. For in behind, now this one becomes apparent. You know I didn't hit him with the hook anymore because you can see it. His head still shakes, but you can see my hand. If I'm throwing bombs, if I'm throwing big punches from this side and you're the judge in the back, watch his head. So a little stronger, but I want you to hand defense, okay?
All right.
Boom, boom. His head is moving a little bit. You can't tell whether I've made connections or not. It may look to you like I have. Now just high guard. Boom, boom. To you, if you're the judge behind him, just over here, to you it looks like he got hit twice. So do you really want to use a defense that's hiding its effectiveness from all the judges? Let's not forget sometimes that even though your defense may have held up, you used hand defense, somebody else uses head defense, the guy with head defense is going to win the fight more often than the guy with hands. It's not because they're not equally effective. They are equally effective. The problem is with perspective. You cannot forget that we are a judged sport. And if there's a judge behind and he can't see it, it looks unclear, it looks like he got hit, you may get the benefit of the doubt. He might win, you might lose, even though your defense is effective. So I hope that makes sense to you. When you're weaving, come back up. Start here, you got to pop up again like a whack-a-mole. Here I am. That's what's going to make you miss. Feet first, hands down, feet first, head movement, hands. That's my hierarchy of defense. Coaches may agree or disagree, but that's my reasoning. So that's it for today for questions.